exploits are legendary. What he has to teach you may very well mean the difference between life and death. Your reputation precedes you.
Hey YouTube, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing a review on my Blackline LSD fitted to my Clio 200. As a bit of background, my last gearbox lasted 20,000 miles, so I wanted to take it to a specialist, get it fitted. Took it to Ktec, kind of like the technician, kind of like the same guy who would fit LSD to his own car over his lunch hour, so he'd find it really easy. I'll have no problems. So the only cars I've ever driven with an LSD before have been an E46 M3 and my own Mark III MR2, both are rear wheel drive. So this is the only front wheel drive car LSD that I've ever driven. I don't want to start the video on a bit of a downer. There's going to be no whoop whooping or this is like night and day in this video. I've got to have like some credibility. This is the first Blackline LSD review on YouTube.
Just want to manage expectations.
The reason there's going to be no night and day and whoop whooping is because this car is so business-like in its way it goes around corners already. So there is no night and day. There are some differences and I'll go through them. The first one being the front end feels like it's been on some performance enhancing drugs. The whole front end feels a lot more meatier, if that makes sense. That's my description anyway. And it's not just at top dead centre, it's the whole way through the steering. After reading a lot of the reviews on Evo magazine over the years, I was really worried. Been a bit like the Mark I Focus RS that it might spoil the handling, and like you read about it, torque steering, and you know the way the journalists describe it is pulling you towards the apex. It does pull you towards the apex, but it doesn't pull you like over the apex, which is kind of like what I was worried about. Because like I say, this car is pretty tied down as it comes standard from the factory. Like I said before, there's a marked difference. It's not massive because this car's so business-like already. It's just like the car's got more business-like it has some performance enhancing drugs. The car actually feels more powerful, and the reason I think it feels more powerful is it's actually putting more power to the ground. There's less scrabbling around, so it pulls straighter. It pulls faster in a straight line. Have I found any drawbacks to fit an LSD? Couple. First one being, both wheels are locked when you're going around a corner, so when you can't overcome the coefficient of friction and it starts to understeer, it starts to really understeer. It really wants to plow on now, but obviously it's got more grip, so that's a lot higher than what it used to be before. So yeah, when it lets go. If you can imagine like a rear wheel drive car, that's what they use to drift. Obviously that's no good in a front wheel drive car, is it? The other thing I found after driving it today is when you're like halfway through a corner and there's a cyclist, the car is pulling, and as soon as you let off that throttle, it feels like the car starts unpulling a lot more than normal. That's just something to get used to, I suppose, but yeah, it's definitely there, something worth noting. Conclusion. It's an hour-and-a-half labour, new seals and bearings, as well as £400 on top of a gearbox refurbishment. So quite a hefty investment. It is a kind of like a fit and forget item. They do slowly wear over time. There's no 10k service intervals like on a gripper LSD. When I chose this LSD, I asked Ktec their advice. I only do 2 track days a year, and they said yeah, Blackline. So yeah, the experience to me is just like turning the volume up on your car. It's already the GT3 of the Renner Sport world, isn't it? So yeah, it's just like turning the volume up a little bit more. For me, I think it was a really good investment. If you haven't got the money though, it's still a really good car. Thanks for watching the video. That's Nobody's Hero signing out.